Uh, no,
You
I
may
for real would want. I wanted to go to I can't remember what's the name of it. Wherever it's in West Virginia. It's that place in West Virginia where Mothman like the whole
Well,
Point
yeah,
Pleasant.
Point Pleasant, West Virginia.
Yeah, Point Pleasant, West Virginia. Yeah. I've wanted to yeah, I've
yeah.
seen that one. I've wanted to go to there to go see the Mothman Museum. Like I know it's nothing
To,
fancy. The
do,
statue's
do
just
do
a big
you mean
fucking
the home
statue.
of the caked out Mothman statue?
Yeah, the Mothman with cake. But I wanted to go see like fucking. I wanted to go see Mothman and all that. Um,
You
like
said
I wanted to
Mothman
go
with
there though
cake
because
with a
cryptids intrigue me, and so like going somewhere like that would be
Bro,
like I want to go.
facts.
I want to go
Mothman is
find
just like
Mothman.
the peak of cryptids. Like I honestly think he's more goated than Nessie.
I mean, listen, they both. I mean, from what I've seen in the statue and in the pictures, they both have some of the biggest asses in the cryptid nation. So like, I would like to meet them.
I scared to know what you're gonna do to Mothman's ass.
He'd motorboat that bitch. Don't let him lie to you.
Want to cover me in the dust?
I'm gonna light that shit up like a lamp.
Give me pink eye, Mothman, daddy.
I hate it.
And you guys call me the degenerate.
Newt, you look like a personified Canadian goose attitude.
Wait, guys, I think we need a proper intro, especially because we do have a guest tonight.
Yes.
I don't know what episode this is because I'm not on my normal computer. I have just hooked
I
up
think
my.
it's like I think we're on like 12.
It's either 12 or 13, I think. But yeah, I officially don't because I moved and all my shit is everywhere. Like all my shit is everywhere.
Yeah,
Am I coming in? Am I coming in okay? Do I sound good? Do I sound clear?
Mm-hmm.
Am I sounding
yes.
all right? Okay. I was
That
concerned because I had to
whole
move
move
my.
thing is a whole conversation.
Oh man, it's been it's been like a couple weeks since we've actually like sat down and like done shit. Because it's been a while. Like we've been moving and like I've tried to keep shit coming out, but like I know this week and think this week and next week we're gonna have a couple breaks in between. But once I get my desk on Tuesday, hopefully I'll get something out on Tuesday night. Because oh my god, it's been a fucking trip. But yes, I moved. I recently moved back to the East Coast, which has been fun. We have also Joe. You mentioned earlier we have a guest, so yeah, it's me, Joe. Yeah, me, Anthony, Joe, John, Steve, and we have Newt here with us as well. Newt, how are you doing? How you doing, buddy?
I'm alive.
Newt's alive.
Yeah,
Yes, Newt's our resident Canadian that has a radio for a head, and we love him dearly.
It's not a radio for a head.
This motherfucker
Just
can
an
pick up XM radio.
It's just radio.
It's not radio. It's just he's got an antenna. He's got an antenna built into his skull.
Hey, you know what?
No.
The sad
Hey.
thing is, Newt's the only one that got that joke.
Jesus.
But
I
no,
think
That
he
is
tuned into
sad,
it.
boys.
I think he tuned into it. But no, Newt is that one of our friends who in the playground just was obsessed with Tonka toys. And they said, "Oh, you can't just play with Tonka toys all day when you grow up." He said, "Fucking bet." And now that's what he does for a living.
I mean, for real. Yeah. Yep.
When this man played with model trains, he did it before Electric Callboy did it. Said it was cool. Sorry.
Rude. I don't play with trains. I play with Tonkas.
You do play with Tonka trunks. Newt's our friend. Newt's our laborer friend from Canada.
You call me a laborer one more time, I'm gonna smack you.
Listen,
isn't that what you are? You move
No.
the fucking heavy machinery for a living.
That's not a laborer.
Laborer is a groundman. He's on the ground. He's with a shovel. He's with a rake. I am a glorified lever puller.
Technically, per American standards, you would be what's called an operating engineer.
Listen,
yes, I am an operational engineer.
You just pissed me off. Trains are literally travel Tonkas.
I do. Okay, no. To be fair, I do really like trains. I got really excited going across England in a train. So much fun.
You know, I want to argue that you're wrong, but
you know what? I got the verdict on that. Tonka does in fact make a train set.
Yes,
so yeah, there you go. trains are just all right, trains are just travel
Planes,
Tonkas.
trains, and Tonka toys.
Yeah, but that's
Oh my
here
god!
was-
If I could bring back a game from my childhood, I one of these days I'm gonna put effort into it. But back in the '90s for like Windows 95, anybody else have that like Tonka truck construction game where it was multiple different job sites and vehicles, all Tonka toys, and you got to like build a building or like clear a snowy road after an avalanche?
Yeah, it
Well,
was fucking
I
fantastic.
didn't have it.
It was it was the best thing on the planet.
Yeah. Oh my god, that was so many happy memories.
Sorry, Joe. Some of us were poor. Kidding.
Lord of the Rings, Two Towers, and Return of the King on PlayStation 2.
That too.
That
Or
was a
Star,
that
or
was a
Star,
goated game.
or Star Wars Bounty Hunter.
Mm.
Need for Speed Underground and Underground.
Oh, Underground 2 was Snoop Dogg's Riders on the Storm, which is still not available on iTunes for some bullshit reason.
Really?
Huh?
Unless something just changed recently. Like, yeah,
Huh? That's weird.
I'm pretty sure it's available on Pandora.
oh, somebody finally posted it. Fucking A, that's going in the library.
Nice. Sorry, I've been falling asleep on the couch at like 3 in the morning the last few days, so like my back's killing me. I had to stretch a little bit, but yeah, we had so we moved down here. So Steve was very much helpful in coming up to help us move, like drive the truck. So he had the U-Haul, and Steve drives box trucks. So like I was like, oh hey, have my friend come and drive the box truck for me, so I can drive my vehicle down. So that way I'm not over here just with a U-Haul in my parking lot. So I had Steve come up, and he drove the puppies down with him. Man, when I tell you that my dogs, they're so cute. They're the cutest fucking dogs alive.
They're the two most well-behaved fucking dogs.
Well, you say that, except for 30 minutes down the fucking highway, I get a call from Steve, and Steve goes, "Hey, so one of the dogs shit in the crate." I go, "Wait, what?"
That was
He goes,
so
"Yeah,
goddamn cool, bro.
yeah, yeah. One of the dogs just shit in the crate. I'm just gonna keep driving, and I'm gonna see how long I can go. Mind you, it was about a mile and a half down the road. We took the next exit we saw, and he pulled over the side of the exit. And we had to clean out the goddamn crate. But yeah, we walked him before we left. I don't know why, but Oscar decided to shit in the fucking crate. And then
Bitch,
the entire
when
rest of the
I
ride, they
opened
just
the
looked at
fucking
Steve
door,
longingly.
when I opened the door, you could smell it. You were like, "Oh God."
Yeah. They usually don't really stink that bad because they poop these little poops, but for some reason that sucked.
Probably anxiety.
Bitch, I was in the truck with them. The fuck you mean that sucked?
They were in a car driving with you. That's what sucked.
Okay, fuck you.
To be fair, Steve
Because
did a good
they were
job.
the
I followed Steve
It
most
was like one time. There was one.
there was only one time where I actually thought Steve might be stealing my shit, and it was we were going through we were coming into Nashville, and my GPS decided to take me
He
directly
finally
through
exposed
Nashville.
his true colors as a crackhead.
No, bro. So we're
Get
we're
hit,
just
big
cruising along, and
dog.
I ended up passing Steve and getting in front of him. Right, he's driving the U-Haul. I can see him. I've been watching him in my rear view. So we get into Nashville. We start pulling into Nashville. My GPS takes me directly through the center of Nashville, which is fine. I've done it 100 times. This is where I'm used to going. I watch Steve in my rear view all of a sudden just take a fucking exit off the highway, and I just go, "Motherfucker, stealing my shit." And then 5 minutes later, I
Siri,
get a call.
look, for
Siri, send me to the nearest pawn shop. Yeehaw!
Oh my
Right.
god.
for
I hate it.
context. Hold on. For context. He's right. His GPS took him an exit down and through the center of Nashville. My GPS was a smart one and took me around Nashville and
Yeah.
away from all the bullshit.
No,
And
legit. because
straight to his crack dealer.
No joke. So Steve, I eventually get a call. Like 5 minutes later, I get a call from Steve, and he's like, "Hey, where are you at?" And I go, "Fuck, man, I don't know. All I know is in my rear view, I saw you take an exit." I'm like, "Well, there goes all my shit." Like, I don't know, where are you? He goes, "Oh, I'm like up here. I'm like, dude, he ended up 10 miles down the road from me. I didn't stop. My traffic never stopped. The traffic flowed the entire time. There was never a slowdown. It was perfectly fine. Everything went smoothly. I had no understand why we exited this. It was the exact same time. We were going the exact same speed. This motherfucker ended up 10 miles up the road from me somewhere.
Look, bitch,
Just
you underestimated that box truck. We weren't going the same fucking speed.
you know what I fucking underestimated was the goddamn house that chased us down the road for fucking 50 some goddamn miles. Like some kind of nightmarish creature from Jeepers Creepers. Like
Okay, so look,
it was
we're coming
dude, I'm
through.
telling you.
We got into Virginia. And we're coming through Virginia. Mind you, we were going to be in Virginia, I thought maybe half an hour because it put us
Yeah.
in the western part of Virginia and it was just going to pop us around the mountains and drop us into North Carolina. No, fucking an hour later, we're still in Virginia. We're clicking down through Virginia. Mind you, like I said, you underestimated that box truck because had we took one of my works box trucks, I would have only been able to do 75. That box truck in particular, U-Haul don't give a shit about how fast you go. That box truck stayed between 75 and 90 the
Well, now I gotta
whole
beat that.
way. Did I have any
Oh, yeah.
business doing 90 in a loaded 16-foot box truck? Absolutely the fuck not.
Well,
But
no, and we're pretty much cruising down this just straight highway. We're just kind of going like right along with each other. We look back behind us and there's this fucking truck with a green house attached to it.
no,
Um
no, no, hold on. We were coming up behind it, and this dude was
Oh,
all
yeah,
over.
we started behind it, that right. Yeah, we started behind it, and he was, like, all over the fucking road, and we're like, "What is he doing?" "I don't know. Let's get the fuck right," because we stayed on the phone or in VC the whole time, basically the whole trip, just to make sure we kept in contact and we could, like, touch base with each other where we were at. Uh, yeah, so we ended up going around this fucking dude, and we had to get up there. We had to push it pretty hard to get past this fucking truck.
We were about a mile. We were about a mile and a half away from him and lost him in our rear view. We're like, okay, cool.
Right.
We're in the
Yeah, we
clear. No,
right. We're in the clear, and then eventually what happens is we start pulling up, and yeah, like you said, we get about a mile and a half up, and also we run into the truck that's supposed to be the wide load, the typical wide load fucking truck with the sign on it that follows in front of that fucking that's supposed to be right in front of that fucking truck, letting people know that there's a wide load coming through. uh we end up running into him, right? And we're like, oh, here's this truck. We're holy shit. And then we look in the rear view mirror, and I'm not fucking kidding you. This truck came up over a fucking embankment and down the highway and come at me and Steve. It was like the fucking Green Goblin truck from Maximum Overdrive, just with a giant fucking house attached to it.
it
This
was
motherfucker was
fucking
booking it.
terrifying.
And this truck, no shit, this motherfucker chased me and Steve down for I'm not even joking you, like 50 fucking miles. We'd think we'd get away from him. We wouldn't see the goddamn thing. There would be nothing in our rear view, and all of a sudden, out of goddamn nowhere, just here's the fucking house. Welcome home, bitch. Like, get the fuck off of me.
I shit you not, for those of you that have seen Jeepers Creepers, I think it was Jeepers Creepers 2, is the scene where they're driving down where the two kids are driving down the interstate and the dude's chasing them. That's exactly how the fuck I felt. So I know
Yep.
exactly how them two felt
Yeah.
in that movie at that moment because I'm doing like 85 in a box truck, and this damn tractor trailer with a house attached to it's just walking my ass down like a dog.
Yeah.
By
I'm
the way,
like, fuck
you're
this
thinking of
shit.
Jeepers Creepers 1.
Is it the
One,
first one?
two, one, yeah, it was
Yeah,
one.
you're thinking of the one with Justin Long.
Yeah,
Oh, God, I remember that one.
Okay,
I love the Jeepers
argument.
movies.
Which one is better, 1 or 2?
I
One.
liked the end. I
one.
liked the ending of one first, but I liked two a little bit. I thought two was a little bit more fun, but like
Mm,
I very much enjoyed the first one. I like
I
the
Very
ending of
B
the first
grade.
one more.
controversial opinion. I think 2 is a superior movie. It has a tighter ending. It has it like
You like a
it
tight ending.
the what?
I said you would like a tight ending.
I fucking do. Um But no, fucking the whole plot with the teenagers fucking betraying each other, like I
Yeah.
thought it was sick.
Oh, no, I very much enjoy 2. I think 2 as a whole, I enjoy 2. I think 2 is a better I wouldn't say 2 is a better movie per se. I enjoy watching 2 more, but I liked the jump scare ending of 1 more. I think that's all it was, because it was a jump scare that I wasn't expecting. I was like, "Oh, that's fun."
Yeah.
Unpopular opinion. My favorite character in that whole movie is that older black lady in the fucking sheriff's department whenever they were there, and that bitch just pops the fuck out of nowhere. Favorite character.
Oh, man, so one of the things we did was when, for this whole move thing was to be able for me to be able to get Steve to help, I had to fly him up to Illinois where we're at. And so we sat Steve down. We started watching the It movies because Steve had never seen It movies, any of them at all, none of them. So we started watching the first one, right? And in Illinois, you can buy gummies and things like that, and edibles and things like that. So I gave Steve a little 5 milligram little thing, nothing too major. We sat down and started watching fucking the It movies, and for maybe the first, I want to say 15 minutes, you were like, "What the fuck is happening?" watching the fucking movie.
All right, no, hold on, because this is going to be a whole nother situation, kind of like the previous fucking conversation we had a few episodes ago. Um,
Right?
I don't typically partake due to my job, so
Right.
therefore it doesn't take a lot. We had just ate Buffalo Wild Wings just after I had took that and I had ate the gummy. Fuck you because I got comfortable. Okay? Two-part problem. One, I got comfortable, and two, that shit kicked in and I just was like, okay, bye.
Yeah, Steve went to the moon and then quickly started to fall asleep in the chair. It was
I
yeah,
mean, it happens.
but and I've been watching I've been watching It just because it's like kind of like the holiday season. Like it's just no holiday because Halloween just passed. So like I've been watching It a lot. Before the move, we were watching a lot of it, shit like that. And then I think we were talking about It before. Me and you, Joe. We were talking about the movie It before, the original one with Tim Curry in it. Um, because it's probably one of my favorite Tim Curry performances. Period. Flat out is Pennywise the Clown. Because Jesus Christ, as a kid, it creeped me out and all that kind of stuff. But um, what the point of it was, what I wanted to ask about, what is when we were talking about It, we were talking about the book too, and it got me thinking of like me personally. I think that if you're going to read the book It by Stephen King, you should absolutely watch every movie that was made from the book first, because watching the movies then makes the book 1,000 times better. And not in like the normal sense of like, because I know you mentioned like, yeah, that happens a lot. No, not in like a normal sense, but like for me, I watched the movies and then I read the book, and holy shit, nah. I mean, I prefer the movies because then I don't have to think about that one scene in the book that's just very not okay. Uh, but yeah, but it made the book a lot better. Made the experience of the book a lot better, I thought. And I want to know if you guys had anything like that, like any kind of
Oh,
like,
I absolutely do.
yeah, like any kind of things where like any books that were turned into movies that you think that the movies should absolutely be watched first before you go and read the books, because it just
So
makes them that much better.
easy. Starship Troopers.
I didn't know Starship Troopers had a book.
Oh, the book is so much like the book is better than the movie, but you need to see the movie first because they present very differently. The movie is the book plays more like the sequels do, where it's all about the fascism of it all. The
Bison
movies,
Men.
yep. Oh, absolutely a Bison Man. Dude, fucking great. But
Yeah.
yeah, the Starship Troopers book goes way more into detail of the whole like pseudo fascism, world government kind of stuff. And then
Oh.
when you want like viewing the movie first, you're like, oh yeah, there's the Earth, the Federation, yeah, it's all like it's all good. Like, and then you're like, oh no, they're the bad guys. It's like
Yeah,
Warhammer. It's great.
Like, I've seen some of the comic books that have come out of Starship Troopers. 'Cause I think it was Dark Horse. I might be wrong, but I think it was Dark Horse that makes them. But I've seen some of the comic books that have come up from Starship Troopers. But I had no idea that there was actually a book that the movie came
Hmm.
from.
It
I
was
know
based on
that's
it.
very cool. Yeah, I did not know that. That's very cool. Yeah, see, I think that would be yeah, I think it would be good to see the movie first and then actually because one the movie's phenomenal. Like, yeah, the movie has corny acting and stuff. But I think that's the whole point of it. Like, we make the joke that Helldivers is basically Starship Troopers the game, but like, come on.
See, that's the crazy part though. Once you actually watch the movie, you understand it's not corny acting. That's just like supreme like the brainwashing.
Well, yeah, and it just makes them sound like, and it kind of just makes them sound the way they sound because of how like everyone's just all about the this that the other, all about the protection, or whatever it is, like the whatever the fucking shit, all about the Federation, whatever they call it. I just, yeah, I did not, yeah, I fucking didn't know it had a book though.
Hmm.
I don't know why I didn't know it didn't have a book. I'm surprised I didn't know that it had a book. And then John, you said of Mice and Men.
Gary Sinise.
Oh man,
Gary Sinise and
Oh yeah.
John Malkovich.
that was so we had to, I can agree with you, and that is only because we had to read the book before we watched the movie in school. It was like a requirement for I want to say it was like my 7th grade English class. It was like one of the requirements we had to do. And that movie made me cry in school. It was the only one to ever make me cry in school. It was so sad.
So I actually have a connection to that play because my college did that as one of our shows my freshman year.
I'm going to
And
apologize if I laugh
oh no, you're
hysterically.
gonna it's bad. So in our acting program, we had a kid who, well, I wouldn't say kid. He was like 40 by the time he was actually in the program. Um or mid 30s. He was a severely autistic, developmentally disabled dude who abandoned a career in accounting because he was just bored of making money and wanted to become an
Yeah.
actor.
I mean,
They cast him to play Lenny. And let me tell
oh,
you, method acting. Oh, like I'm like at this point, this like he's just being Dan. like
like I understand that they tell people in Hollywood all the time they need to like hire actors that come from like the backgrounds, but like I feel like that specific role, you could give that to any other actor, really. I mean,
absolutely. Like
you could give that to
like
any
I
other
know. So
actor.
well, no, okay. So here's the thing. I'm always advocating when it comes to giving able like disabled roles to disabled people. I'm always going to advocate for that. However, if you're going to do that, you need to understand how to direct people with mental disabilities. The
Well,
guy who directed
and
this play did not.
well, I mean, not even that. Just, I mean, it's Lenny, and I'm not gonna lie. That's way worse than what I thought you were gonna say because I totally thought you were gonna be like, oh yeah, I was in this crew. My college did of my cement, and I was Lenny, and I was about to fucking go ballistic laughing because like I was just imagining you playing Lenny, and oh man, it was
No, for some reason I kept getting
because one
cast
I
in drag roles, and then it kind of just took.
That shit
because like
killed.
I know that you have background in acting, so like I know that if they did cast you as Lenny, you would play it and you
Mm.
would do a damn fine job of playing it. It's just I'm just imagining you as I know you play Lenny, and it's just hilarious to me.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. No, I would love to play Lenny. Personally though, on the level of like those kinds of roles, I've always wanted to do the Elephant Man.
Oh man, yeah, I love that movie, The Elephant Man. Um, John, I do love that movie. I want to talk about The Elephant Man. I do want to talk about that because I do love that movie. But John, I want to say for yours, I personally I think reading the book made the movie a little bit better. But I see where you're coming from because the book is very, very hard to understand without seeing it.
Yeah.
Seeing the
For
movie
most
helped me
people.
understand. Yeah, seeing the movie helped me understand more what the kind of the language, the symbolism, and the things in the book that I didn't quite catch as I was reading it at the age I was reading it. I will say that. But the yes, the Elephant Man. I fucking love that goddamn movie. I would love to see a remake of that.
Mm.
A
Lord
true
of
and
the Rings.
honest like, remake of it.
Ooh, I agree. Honestly, the
Um,
movie watch the movies first, then the books. Yeah, absolutely.
Lord of the Rings? Yeah, yeah. I think any large series like that, like Lord of the Rings, absolutely. Harry Potter, fucking do go watch the Harry Potter movies and then go read the books. Because you watch the movies and you're like, okay, yeah. If you like the movies, you're gonna fucking love the books. If you don't like the movies, you still might like the books, but at least you know you don't like the fucking movies.
You
Does
know
that make
what?
sense?
You know what's one that was it's not a complete departure from the book, but League of Extraordinary Gentlemen's plot line versus what it is in the book plot line is way different, especially the ending.
Heard that. I've heard that.
Do you know
I have
do you
heard
know
that
the
that
key
that's
point
not
difference between them?
not I don't know like the key points. I just heard that like the movie itself was just with the people who made the comic books were not pleased with the movie just because it didn't really they
No, it didn't
tried.
capture so much, but
Yeah, they
they
tried.
they, they one of the biggest points, and they kind of touch to it, is Skinner's role. Like the Invisible Man is not just supposed to be like, "Oh, I'm this thief and, I'm just, everybody thought I was bad, but I'm actually good." No. Motherfucker's a secret agent for Her Majesty's Secret Service, and they already
Oh.
suspected that M was already up to shit.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. He's a motherfucking
Huh.
spy.
Huh. I mean, it makes sense.
And it makes it so much better, like the way his entire dialogue and demeanor is different.
Mhm. This episode of the Dummy Time Podcast is brought to you in part by Southeast Carolina Crossroads. Addiction is a struggle many Americans suffer with. Being a slave to your vices is never a life one wants to lead, and in today's day and age, finding help with addiction, especially for men, can be just as daunting as the addiction itself. Southeast Carolina Crossroads wants to help you break free from the chains of addiction and give you the tools to help not only get out of the damaging cycle, but also provide skills and lessons to help maintain your sobriety. Their 13-week or 90-day residential program is designed to help men get the support they may desperately need to break free from their addiction and go on to live fulfilling lives without the shadows of drugs or alcohol. I have a great friend that suffered with alcoholism. It was ruining his life, his body, and destroying the person that I knew. And although I am not personally a religious person, I was able to see that the good Crossroads had done for him, and I couldn't recommend them more. So if you are a loved one or struggling to kick their addiction, give Crossroads a call at 910-549 8487 or apply online at secarolinacrossroads.com. Once again, that is 910-549-8487, or you can also apply online at secarolinacrossroads.com. Thank you, Southeast Carolina Crossroads, for helping my friend and sponsoring today's podcast. Yeah, I remember watching The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen as the movie as not a kid, but like a teenager, I think, when it came out. And I really, really enjoyed the movie because it was like, oh, this is a really flashy superhero-like action movie that's not quite superhero-y. So, it was kind of like Deadpool before Deadpool came out. It felt like Deadpool before Deadpool came out, and I really liked it. But then I read some of the comic books as an adult, and I was like, oh, this is way better.
Mm.
This is so much better. You know what one also fits that is the Hellboy series. If you think about comic books,
Yes.
uh, if you go and watch any Hellboy movie, granted, I love all of the Hellboy movies. I don't I think the last couple Hellboy movies kind of got more hate than they deserved because they weren't Ron Perlman Hellboy movies.
Oh my
Um,
god. I really liked the last one.
I loved the last two Hellboy movies. I thought the last two Hellboy movies were really, really
Two.
great
There's two?
interpretations. There's two Ron Perlman movie, or two or three Ron Perlman movies.
Two.
And then there's one movie that came out recently with the dude from Stranger Things, and then there was another Hellboy movie that just came out, I think, last year.
No, it was this
With,
year. Yeah, I'm
yeah,
looking up right now. I didn't even know this
yeah,
came
the
out.
Chicken Man. Hmm. Yeah. I love all of the Hellboy movies. I think they're all amazing. Um, and I do think no, do I think the Ron Perlman Hellboy movies did the comic book the comic books justice? Absolutely not. Read the fucking watch the movies and then read the books, and you're gonna have such an amazing time because the books
Mm.
are so much darker and so much more gruesome than the Ron Perlman movies ever dreamed to be.
I
That
mean,
like,
Golden Army was fucking legit.
dude, Golden Army was amazing. But I'm saying like you go and watch the Ron Perlman movies, and you go read the Hellboy comic books, and you're like, what the fuck is this? It's like going watching the Spawn movie from the '90s, and then going reading the Spawn comic books, or watching the Spawn fucking TV series that Showtime put out back in the late '90s, early 2000s. What the fuck?
I want, dude, I want more Seth MacFarlane in that kind of shit. Like, I can't get
Oh
enough
man,
of him like that.
yeah, but yeah, I think the last two Hellboy movies that came out though, the one with fuck, I can't remember his name, but it's the guy who
David
plays
Harbour.
David Harbour, the Hellboy with David Harbour, and then I don't know who plays Hellboy in the newest one that came out, the Crooked Man, but that dude looks great. I thought yes, they were. I did agree that they had their issues, like any movie has their issues, but I think as representations of like the source material, fucking spot fucking on when it came to just like how they're supposed to feel. Like goddamn.
Oh,
That fucking
absolutely.
those two movies are gruesome.
Hmm.
They are there are scenes in
The
some
fucking giant scene.
Mhm. The scene
Oh
in
my
the
god,
David
just
Harbour movie.
ripped apart.
There's some scenes in the David Harbour movie that I was like, how is this allowed in an R-rated film? Like it was fucking wild. I loved it. What about you, Newt or Steve?
I can't really remember the Hellboy movies too much. I watched them like when I was an early teen, and I don't know why. I just can't remember much about them.
No.
I,
What about
uh,
do you have a do you have like a do you have like a book or something? Do you have a book series that has a movie that makes it better if you watch the movie first?
uh, all I can think about right now is Halo: The Fall of Reach, and then when you watch the show, when you watch the Fall of Reach in the show, you just want to bash your head against the wall because it's like none of it
You know,
happened. Well, okay, in it's the difference between the Halo book, the game, and then the show is just it's so drastic because
are you talking
in the
about the
game,
show? Are you talking about
the
the
fall of
new live action
the
series, or are you talking about the show that came out like a couple years ago?
no the couple week or like the new one that came out that Paramount did,
Oh,
the one that was
I
absolute dog
heard.
water.
I'll say I heard that series basically like if you had read any of the expanded lore of Halo, played any of the Halo games, that show was just basically like it was like bad fan fiction.
Hmm.
Yeah, it was semi decent sci-fi, but it wasn't Halo.
It was like
It
someone
was
took the Halo characters and stuck them into their bad casting.
because they're like, yeah, this is the Master Chief, and the guy who plays the Master Chief is just playing it like every other like super soldier in a sci-fi, not not playing it as the Master Chief, which is he's supposed to be this
Ex-
like stoic kind of like he has these one-liners every once in a while, but most of the time he's like he doesn't say shit because he's just thinking everything through because he's like I
but doesn't Master Chief get dick down though? Doesn't Master Chief dick down in this one?
yeah he does he fucking master he goes full Master Cheeks just all he's naked like half the fucking
Wait a minute. Did you just say full Master Cheeks?
I
yeah
hate
like
every
he's
I hate everything about that.
What the fuck is wrong with you, you tin-headed fool?
that's not my I didn't make that the internet made it up, okay, the internet made it up, all right, not mine, but
Cheeks.
The aliens
he
transmitted that one through the plate in his head.
it was so it it's like in the books the fall of reach happens in like a couple of days. In the games it happens over like the course of a month. and in the show it happens in like 6 hours. Eh, it's just like every single one has a different timeline, and it's like, oh my god.
Like, I never got really deep into like the Halo lore. Like, I didn't read the books. I didn't like do a lot of that. Where's my cord is?
Also, in the Fall of
But
Reach in the show,
ugh,
the entire time, Chief's not wearing any armor because
wait.
in the story-wise, the armor gets stolen, but he's not wearing armor.
So Master Chief is just running around Sans being Master Chief?
In a fucking sweater vest,
Okay.
like a little fleece, and he's just and he's fighting
Yeah, see, I don't
fucking
understand.
elites.
That's such a departure. That's such a departure.
Really
That
stressing
is.
out me right now.
I know,
It's
right? It's like
you get me in
hate
the
this
Halo lore,
show.
and I go
You
fulltism.
really hate this show. All right, Steve. What about you? What
I had said Lord
What
of
are
the
you?
Rings.
Oh, that Lord of the Rings. Yeah, That's good. I like that. You guys got a lot of good ones.
Only problem is every fucking one of those books was the size of a freaking encyclopedia.
Dude,
But I mean, you pretty much hit the nail on the head with Mice and Men, man. Because like a lot of people don't really grasp the symbolism of that. You know what's going on there.
Oh, yeah. No, that's one of the things. So there's a few times where like um Mice and Men is where I first noticed that. And it was like the first time it made me like really pay attention like, "Oh, okay. So this is helping me actually kind of understand more of the context of what the story was saying in the book." Um which is kind of where like other things like where I think like Star Wars stuff falls into play pretty nice too with that, where they complement each other pretty well, where you can understand better what happens in the movies or when you read what happens in the extended stuff. Mice of Men though, holy shit. Um, when I tell you that watching that in my fucking class, watching the movie, the end of that movie making me cry like a little fucking baby in my English class. I hated it. I hated every second of it.
No, no. Okay, we're gonna go there, and also movie to book, and like you should see the book before the movie before the book, because honestly, I think the ending is a lot kinder. Bridge to Terabithia.
That
Oh, you can go fuck yourself.
I shit you not. I thought you were going to go a different direction when he was talking about movies you watched in school. I thought you were going a completely different direction, and I'm so glad you didn't, because I would have fucking died.
Jesus.
I mean,
Sound like
also,
the girl in Bridge of
Diary of Anne
Terabithia?
Frank too. Like, just to throw that out there, like the movie,
No,
Yeah.
watching the movie version versus reading the book is a completely different experience.
You talking about the hide and seek world champion?
Jesus. No, they no Bridge to Terabithia. So Diary of Anne Frank was sad because it was like, okay, like this actually happened. This was like this it was so sad because they had that true life factor of it. And so that's where you kind of watch it in the movie. You read it in the book and you don't quite kind of grasp how impactful it was until you watch that movie and you see it and you're like, oh, fuck. Right?
Because the
Uh
book is like, okay, you understand her thought processes. The movie, you understand everyone's thought processes.
but do you know what the fucking problem is with Bridge to Terabithia is that the book, you read the book and you learn to love these goddamn fucking characters and you fall in love with these goddamn characters and you get
Oh,
go in deep to them and then it happens and you're like, well, fuck me, that's miserable. My life now sucks and everything in life sucks for about a week and it makes you so sad.
okay.
But you know what you didn't have to do? You didn't have to watch the goddamn emotion on their face. You have to
Mm.
see it happen. And then I gotta go, well, fuck. Now I'm depressed for 2 weeks because I had to watch that childhood trauma come to life. I fucking hate Bridge to Terabithia. I watched it once just to say I did, and I'll never watch it again.
Okay,
I
but
never
can
watched
you agree
horror.
though the ending where he like makes good with the school bully and they become friends, like that's better than the book ending,
Oh yes,
where it's
absolutely.
just, hey, you're sad. This is the end.
100%. 100% agree with you. 100% agree with you. Yes.
Okay, I'm
Yes,
gonna
Kim,
ask
I
you though,
100% agree with you on that.
what's a sadder death to you? Bridge to Terabithia or My Girl?
oh, you're just bringing up all the childhood
Ooh.
trauma, aren't you?
Ooh, man, who had the best? Who had the best death? I guess saddest death. Is the saddest death considered the best death?
I mean, I guess if you're gonna grade it like that, sure. So
But
what you're saying
I
is
man, I'm
everybody
gonna say
needs to
my
weep
girl.
at my death?
I think my girl. I think my girl's probably the one that. Yeah,
He
I would
can't
say my
see
girl.
without his
He
glasses.
can't see without his glasses. Well, it's not
I got
even that. See, what it got with for my girl was because I knew a kid. I knew a bunch of kids that were allergic to bees, and so
Mm,
like I got to just watch that, and then just watch that happen to my buddies. So it was like, oh, that's awful.
man, Macaulay Culkin really fucking ruled the '90s, man.
Yeah, he was really great until P Diddy got a hold of him.
Mm.
fucking Christ. So I got one for you. Since y'all brought up one childhood, it could be a movie or a TV show. Saddest death in like as
Oh,
being an adult watching a TV show or movie. Character and what was it?
As an adult watching a show, what's the saddest death?
Yeah. Movie could be a movie, could be a TV show.
Oh man. Oh man. There's so many. There's so many
I'm a rock it
so many
off
times.
because I'm like just trying to recall it back and and look up some like the movies in my library. I'm gonna tell you right now, fucking the two kids in Boy in the Striped Pajama,
Oh,
Mm.
yeah.
like holding hand, not even supposed to be there.
Yeah. Yeah, that's unfortunate. Dude, oh man, I'm trying to think and I can't think of one that's like in particular just like hit real hard, but there's been so fucking many like decent TV deaths recently. Like
John, I know you got one.
What?
Like saddest on-screen death, TV show or movie.
Come back to me.
What you got, Newt?
Uh, fuck. Why can't I remember the name of the movie? It's the one with the dog.
Old
That's
Yeller.
that.
Marley
Not
and
even
Me?
the
Fuck you. I was gonna
Yeah.
say Old Yeller also.
Oh, honestly,
Oh, you're talking about
Marley
Marley
and
and
Me.
Me?
Marley and
The
Me
Marley and Me dead.
You know
Old
what? You
Yeller.
know what? Yeah, Marley and Me
Oh,
had a better Marley and Me had I think Marley and Me was way sadder than Old Yeller.
Because they
I
spent
would
almost 2
100%.
hours building an emotional connection to an animal to just show you, like, okay, like this is the life.
And
Yeah.
then
And this
you
is what
spend 2 hours
happened.
building an emotional connection to an animal, and then they walk on and go, "Gotcha, bitch."
I proceeded to spend another 2 hours just holding my cat crying. That was not okay.
I got one for you, and I'm sure a couple of y'all already probably know where I'm going with this. And if you haven't seen, it's been since 2004 since the series was, or 2014 since the series was over. So if you haven't watched this, you've lived under a rock, and I'm fucking sorry. But the jail scene
Oh,
in Sons of Anarchy, whenever they caved Taylor's Opie's skull in, god damn it, I was so fucking pissed. Dude, I was mad for weeks. I was
I'm a,
mad for weeks, and I waited. Anthony, I know you're watching. I know you're watching.
Mhm.
Like you're watching through
I've
it,
seen So here's the thing,
but
I've seen so I mean, I'll put a spoiler thing on this episode, but I've seen Opie die so many fucking times
dude, I was
that
so
like
fucking
it has no
pissed.
effect on me
Like
anymore.
right after his
But
death in the series, I waited between his death and Tara's. I fucking waited for
you know what's really great is I
weeks
know
to watch motherfuckers get their shit pushed in because you knew it was coming.
so I know what happens to Tara kind of. So I know who does Tara in, and I know that
Oh,
happened
dude,
in
Tara got
addition, but
fucked up in a bad
I
way.
haven't been told. I haven't been told how it happens. So what's been happening is Cam has just been letting me come up with different ideas of how one person just absolutely beats the ever loving shit out of Tara. She goes, maybe it
Okay,
happens that
so
way.
what's one of your speculations? And I'm curious to see if you're even in the ballpark realm. Because Joe, you've seen the show, correct?
Not all of it, but I'm aware of it. Yes.
Okay. So what's your speculation? Because that I would love to know. Because I know how this bitch got done. Like I was pissed with it too.
So I told Cam don't not. I did specifically tell Cam not to tell me, just because I kind of have fun with the speculation part of it. But um, so what I've always been saying is just like I just think that I'll just beep this out in case anyone else wants to hear. But I'll just beep out the name. I think that just just beats the ever loving fuck. I think she just beats her skull in, like just beats her skull in because a fucking crazy bitch.
Eh. Another one in that series that that kind of like they killed off the character in an odd way, but you kind of like it was odd, but it was kind of like a Viking send off type thing. And I think that was probably because he was doing some other shit. I think it may have been around whenever it was Ron Perlman. I think it may have been around whenever he was about to film something else, maybe.
Yeah,
Mm.
Hellboy.
Because looking at stuff he's done, like he was doing this
Pretty sure it
show
was
called
Hellboy.
Hand of God, which is like right towards whenever Sons was ending. But yeah, whenever they offed him in the show, I was kind of like, okay, kind of shitty way to go, but like, all right. But yeah, Opie's hands down gonna always be the like what the fuck death in a TV show or movie.
Oh.
Because you didn't have to do my man like that. But
Oof.
he took that shit like a true G though.
Mhm.
I
You
would
want
be
to talk?
mad.
Okay, you want to talk about like deaths and like everybody like just going at it and taking it. I'm gonna raise the bar here. Every character in the ending of Glory
Oh yes.
just charging that Confederate hill and laying down their lives, and you're like, oh, and then getting buried together in that ditch.
You know, I'm gonna say I don't. I don't think it's. I'm not gonna say it's a death because it's not technically a death. He doesn't die, but I think it's almost sadder than him if he did die. Almost sad. I think it's almost sadder that he didn't die. Is Hawkeye from MASH
Mm,
had one of the saddest endings in the fucking history of television.
yeah,
Period.
it
Flat
did.
out, and he didn't even die. Like Hawkeye's ending was fucking that bus scene. Oh my god,
Hmm.
I didn't know how to handle that at like 12 years old. That show got very real in one episode. Like one, like their very last episode got very real very fast.
Shit, no, dude. Sons, that shit got fucking real fast. Like you haven't got to it yet, but like there's a certain season you start to see the fuckery unfold that just
Oh
it
yeah,
it shows up and never goes away. Like
we
it's just a fucking bloodbath from that episode, from like that season to the end.
yeah, that's what I've been told.
They
So
drop like
I'm waiting for it.
4 or 5 characters an episode, and I'm like, you start getting to the end of the series, to the end of like the whole series, and you're like, how the fuck is anybody still here? Like, you've killed half a fucking state by now. Like,
Mm.
how do you still have people here?
It's kind of like how it's kind of like how Grey's Anatomy just changes out characters. Just instead of gang violence, they use aneurysms and bad craniotomies.
Hmm. Derek Shepard, man, just fuck.
I got another one for you.
Who
Or
you
go ahead,
got?
John. You got one?
I got one. I got one.
Oh.
When Marshall's dad dies in How I Met Your Mother.
Oh, you don't even see it and you're fucking crying. Ah.
Like 3 episodes this year.
Okay, did you know that was a genuine moment?
Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't tell them that was the line. It was supposed to be that in his head it was supposed to be something different. And then they fucking like they just live tell the actor, "Oh, Marshall, your dad's dead."
Oh my god.
Yeah. Jason
That's fucked.
Segel was just fucking brutalized emotionally on set. That's why he said, "I'm not ready for this."
Christ almighty. Well, that's a fuck.
What about you, John?
I don't know if I have like a saddest on-screen death, but I would say a character that I was very sad to see killed was the character of Mose in Open Range. It's got Robert Duvall and Kevin Costner, and I can't remember the young kid's name, but basically, it's got the guy that played the new Dumbledore. He's the bad guy.
Michael Gambon, yeah.
Michael Gambon was the bad guy, and he was this rich cattle baron who was basically, they were a free graze cattle outfit. And they had just stopped. They were minding their own business, and they sent their buddy Mose, this big, mountain of a man, to go get some supplies. And it's a couple days, so they go and look for him, and he's beaten half to death and thrown in jail for a fight he didn't start. So they try to squeeze, Robert Duvall for money, and Kevin Costner's he's a gunfighter. They didn't know it. And yeah, so they get him out, they take him back, and they go out to get revenge on the guys that, or that basically some of the cattle baron's men had come out to like scope him out, and they went and followed him later that night, and they went and like beat the crap out of the guys that were like, wearing the masks and shit. Well, they come back to their cattle outfit, and the kid is shot, and he got clubbed in the head. And Mose got, basically he got shot in the head, or he got clubbed in the head, and then, the kid got clubbed in the head and shot. He lives, but Mose, he ends up getting a bullet to the brain. And it was just really sad because he was a nice dude. He was I think he was kind of like the comic relief that never got to be. So I don't know if that was one. And
Gotcha.
Wade and Mellish from Saving Private Ryan.
Yeah.
Especially because Mellish shouldn't have fucking happened.
Dobby
You're
from
right.
Harry Potter.
You're right. John's got a whole beef with that whole situation.
I know. I'm surprised he didn't say that
Don't
shit.
don't get me started. I don't even count that because it's just not even sad. It just pisses you off. Don't get me
It's
started.
infuriating.
Just don't get me
No.
started.
Ooh. Okay. I'm a raise you on deaths. Orange is the new black.
Never watched it.
Oh my god, no.
Okay.
That one was tough.
No. Well, which one do you think I'm talking about?
The one in the cafeteria.
Poussey.
Nope. Poussey is a tragic death, and it's horrifying. But the heartbreaking death is Pennsatucky, because she was so fucking close to, like, she had redeemed herself. She was getting clean, like she was done, and then lights out last season. Like, fuck, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that was rough. I remember watching that going, "Are you fucking serious?" Like, I remember looking at the person as I was watching it with somebody. I remember looking and go, "Are you fucking kidding me?"
Taryn Manning is like a fucking legit actress. She needs to be in more.
Yeah, I always appreciate
I got it.
Taryn Manning
Sorry.
and that curly haired
Do
one.
it.
I got it.
Yeah.
Leonardo DiCaprio, Blood Diamond.
Good one.
Thought your ass
Yeah.
was gonna go with Titanic for a minute.
Jesus.
Nope, Leonardo DiCaprio, Blood Diamond. Dude redeems
That's
himself, does the right thing, bleeds out on that mountainside, and he calls that girl, and he's like, she's like, I'm gonna come get you, and he's like, he finally realized, he's like, I'm where I need. I was like, damn, that is self-reflection upon death. Woof.
damn.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It was just a really like intense, like you're like, holy fuck, bro.
Yeah. That I agree with you on that one. That was a good one. That was a good one. I'd almost forgotten about that. You literally just sparked like you said it, and I was like, oh my god. It was almost like it's played in my head. I was like, oh man, I almost forgot about that movie.
Yep.
It's like when you watch a really, really good movie like one time and it just sticks with you and it buries itself in the back of your head. The shit just comes to you in a flash.
The Dark Crystal.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah. That movie just comes to me in my nightmares every once in a while. I just see the scenes of this
Skeksis, get one of them in your fucking
fucking
brain every
sketchy.
once in a while.
I've got, you know what? I've got
Yeah.
all of you beat. Littlefoot's mom.
Fuck you.
Suck
Ooh.
my
Fuck,
cock.
royally fuck you for that.
Well, now that we've
You
just
could
ended
have
this
ruined this
depressing
whole
episode of
fucking
Sad Dudes,
episode.
make
You
sure
could
to
have
go
ruined
and
this
rate us
whole
5 stars
episode.
on
You know what?
Spotify.
No, I'm gonna raise you even more than Littlefoot's mom.
Don't say
John
Peachtree
Krasinski.
because that was. Hmm?
John Krasinski at the end of A Quiet Place.
Nah, doesn't
Uh,
have much. Nah, not even close to Littlefoot's mom. Littlefoot's mom fucking broke my heart. Littlefoot's mom was the first trauma that I had as a child.
But see, here's the
yep.
thing. Okay, like I agree with that. Like it's like on the level of Mufasa. Like as a child, yeah, like it's it was just
They're not even
horrible to
in,
watch
dude.
this die.
No,
I
they're
was
not even in the same weight
I was
class,
so
dude.
fucking attached to John Krasinski's
Not
character.
even in the same weight class.
Mm.
No.
It was good though. I will say for a
Yeah,
modern
I'm
Hollywood
sorry. As
movie,
far as like
absolutely good.
notoriety is
Sad
concerned,
and very sad.
how many times it's been watched, dude? I mean, Quiet Place doesn't come any close.
I just feel like Littlefoot's mom literally
Yeah,
traumatized an entire
that's
generation.
literally like in the top 10 iconic like movie deaths.
Yeah, I've looked at people. There used to be a
And
girl in my
Bambi's
high school.
mom.
There used to be a girl in my high school. I distinctly remember this. There was a girl in my high school that I could look at and I go, hey, hey, and I get their attention. They go, hey, what? I go, Littlefoot's mom. Immediately burst into tears.
Yeah. Oh, if we're gonna do that too, fucking Rufio.
Rufio. Oh,
I wish I had a dad like you.
I wish I had a
Fucking
dad like
ooh.
you.
Dude, all right, look.
My
Fuck
baby
that movie, in my opinion.
Speaking of our childhood movies and shit, and John just brought it up. No, Joe brought it up. The whole Mufasa thing. Like, did any of y'all pay attention? Like, if you watch it back now and you actually pay attention to
Mhm.
more than what you seen as a kid, is like
Mhm.
the scene where Scar they're sitting in the cave and he's laid on that rock and he's got a
Mhm.
skull in his hand and he's sitting there playing with the
Mhm.
skull. Any of y'all put fucking two and two together of what that
Yeah.
skull actually fucking was?
Oh yeah, as an
Yeah.
The
adult watching
skull
it back as
was
an adult, yeah,
Mufasa,
yeah,
Mm.
yeah. Watching it as an adult, watching it back, I was like, oh yeah,
and
yeah,
the rib
damn.
cage that they showed where they had
Zazu,
fucking
yeah.
Azu, yeah, where they had him like quote unquote in prison in was Mufasa's rib cage.
No, that's dark.
Like, yeah, there was some dark shit in our children's movies.
Nindy's dark Nindy's 90s dark Disney is part of all my favorite fucking things on the planet. That's a whole topic for another podcast though. But it is past. We are gotten past an hour. I appreciate everyone coming in. I appreciate you guys coming in and hanging out and talking to me about sad TV deaths. Makes me feel
Thanks
less.
for kicking it with us, Newt.
Yeah, no, thanks for coming in and piping in and stuff. We appreciate you
It was
being
good.
here.
It was good.
I appreciate you and your
The-
metal plate.
I am a literal metalhead,
Yeah.
both
Anyway,
literally and figuratively.
rate us 5 stars on Spotify because we really appreciate it. We need that. Make sure to check us out on YouTube at youtube.com / at MSG9K1, Twitter at MSG9K1 as well. And yeah, that'll be it. We'll see everybody on the next episode. Thank you.
Before
Bye.
we wrap, I would just like to say Newt, I know that your dad is currently going through a medical issue. Our thoughts are with him, and hope that everything turns out okay.
Thank you.
We love you, buddy.
We give you
We'll make
shit,
a
but
crowd.
at the end of the day,